What's up, everybody, and welcome to Now Available, the internet's only streaming service podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Howard, and with me, as always, Rick Yattinger.
Hello, 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 hello.
I was gonna do a bit to introduce you, and then, as I got into the groove of it, I forgot what I was gonna do, or forgot the lines as I was gonna do it.
Oh
So I was gonna
no.
do the thing. I was gonna do the bit where it's like, instead of saying this is, or I was gonna do the whole katana thing. Where I was gonna be like, "This is Ricky. He's
Oh.
got my back." But I'm not letting him kill you though, because the sword traps all of his victims.
I was just talking about at work how I wanted to get a sword, so that would have been perfect if I had one.
Yeah.
Dude, how's it been?
Well,
It's been a
we're
hot.
back.
We're back, better than ever. We're bigger. We're back.
Yeah.
It's been
It's crazy.
what, like 2 weeks since our last one?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. We're jumping from Suicide Squad to Suicide Squad.
Yep. Yep.
It's pretty funny. Initially, it was supposed to be Princess Bride. I know that much.
Oh man, I meant to look it up, and I wanted to ask you, like, oh, what'd you think of that movie? But I fucking forgot.
It was Princess Bride.
Go figure.
Supposed to be Disney Plus.
I did see. We were talking about watching Dune, which I thought was funny because the first one was coming to HBO.
It was right to HBO Max. Yeah.
Yeah. To just Max.
Yeah.
I think back then it was HBO Max. Now
It was HBO Max, and now it's just Max.
Oh, it's just Max.
It was CBS All Access, not Paramount Plus.
R.I.P. We should have had a segment where we brought up all, like, an in memoriam for all the dead platforms.
R.I.P. Solo Hulu. now Disney Plus with Hulu.
Oh yeah, that's the latest one, the latest acquisition.
Yeah. I think Paramount Plus is somebody else is trying to merge, I think, or something.
With
Who knows?
Paramount?
Yeah, well, somebody's trying to, Paramount's looking to sell, I think.
Oh shit.
And there's rumors, I think it was Sony or Warner Brothers or somebody was going to buy him.
Ooh.
Something like that.
Yeah, how come Sony doesn't have one? They have like a whole bunch of movies I could put on there.
Yeah, they have a deal with Netflix, and that's why, right now, is it Anyone But You? Is on just on there?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that one. There's.
I can't watch it because I have the basic bitch Netflix where I pay for the ads.
You can't watch it?
Yeah, so I can't watch it. I was like, oh, finally a movie on here that's like a brand new movie that I want to watch because I didn't see it in the theater. But because
they do all the Sony stuff.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I pay like $7 for Netflix, but it gives me ads. And then there's some movies that are locked because they're not ad supported.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pissing me off. Pissing me off, bro.
So you've been watching anything new lately?
I've been watching TV shows lately. That's been my gag. I just finished Shogun. Oh my god, dude.
I heard that's really good. I haven't checked it out. I tell you though, my defect is I can't watch TV for whatever reason. As I've gotten older, I can't let myself sit for that long with something. I'm like, it has to be a movie. I will say though, I did watch True Detective season 4.
Ooh, yeah, that was
really good.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I'm a True Detective. There's certain shows where I'm like that, and where I'm like, okay, I guess I can commit to that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice with HBO where it's weekly, so it's not
yeah.
Because I'm behind on the Bad Batch, the Star Wars show, and that I love Star Wars and I love that show. I'm just it gets too piled up, and I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna watch this. I'll get to it at some point.
I don't like sitting there and binge watching a show. I think I've probably said this 1,000 times. I can't do binge watching shows. But if it's week by week, then I'm like, ooh, I can sit down and I come home from work and I watch.
It's almost like a treat.
Yeah. It's every day of the week. Yeah. I come home and it's Tuesday nights I watch wrestling. Wednesday nights I was watching Shogun, and then Thursday.
Wait, what wrestling are you watching on Tuesday night? What's
Raw.
Tuesday night? On Tuesday?
It comes out. It comes out on Hulu the next day.
Oh,
So
okay.
for me, wrestling is on Tuesdays and Saturdays. What was Wednesday night? Wednesday night I think would be
Dynamite.
no. What the hell was it? Oh, X-Men 97.
Oh, yep. That's Wednesdays.
Because that was that was Wednesday, and there was another show that came out on Tuesday too that I think it was Shogun and it was wrestling came out on Tuesday, so I'd had to like split them up because I couldn't do them both. But yeah, but now Shogun's over. I don't know what I'm gonna watch.
I do think, yeah, I really don't watch TV shows. It's really bad. The thing is, like, even shows I like, I won't go back and rewatch.
hmm
I just I think it's just because there's so much like character development from the beginning to the end. It's like such a process where I'm like, I can't commit myself to it.
I think the only shows I've rewatched have been like New Girl, Seinfeld.
Yeah, well, those.
They're just like fun. Put them on. You don't like this background noise type shit.
I will say I do absorb a lot of television. Like the only way I get my television, I should say, is from Paige, who will like watches New Girl, and Gilmore Girls and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And that's like my only way I actually get television. Otherwise, I'm like,
you just don't need it.
but then again, I'm also like way behind on movies too. I'm like out of the loop.
I was, dude, for a minute, probably like 2 months. I was going to the movies every weekend. Because I got.
Well, I've got Movie Pass and I haven't gone since like January.
Oh, I have Movie Pass, and then I also got the what the Regal? No, not Regal. AMC one.
Oh, Stubbs? Is it Stubbs? Stubbs?
Nah, no, maybe it wasn't AMC. What the hell? What am I?
Cinemark?
Cinemark, yeah. That's where, because Tinseltown is Cinemark, so they had a deal there. It was like half off for 2 months or something, and I was like, oh, I'm capitalizing on this. And the 20% off the snacks was like the hugest one, because every time I'm going, spending like $30 on snacks.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, it's expensive, but it's my shit.
Yeah, I don't live. So I try. My ideal time to go to a movie would be like late at night, but I don't live anywhere close to like a movie theater that plays like the one 5 minutes down the road from me. They start their last showing at 7.
Oh, what?
So I'm like, it's a one room theater. It's where Paige and I got married. And
it's that spot. Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, and they do like two screenings a day, and I never make it over there, and and then like trying to fit movies in when I have to drive like half an hour on top of going to see the movie.
Yeah.
I'm just like, at this point, like as you can see behind me, I've got like my surround speakers and I got a huge TV over there. I'm kind of like, I will just wait to watch in the comfort of my own home, which, as much as I'm like super theater guy, I'm also like at this point with the child, I'm like, I'll fit it in when I fit it in.
Yeah.
I got more important things going on.
Hell yeah. No,
I still haven't seen Dune, the second one.
Dude.
Fucked up.
I've seen it twice. We were gonna go see it. Yeah, we were gonna go see it again because I saw there was an article that said it was coming back to the IMAX.
Yeah, it's back in IMAX.
I was like, oh, I gotta go see it in IMAX again. The first time we saw it in IMAX, it was fucking life changing. Oh my god, what a great movie.
Yeah, I don't know what happens in the movie, but I know I've seen like different interviews and stuff like that where Denis Villeneuve's like Paul Atreides is the Michael Corleone of sci-fi, and I'm like, I definitely didn't see that coming, so I'm like, shit, because I don't know like anything really.
Did you watch the first one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I rewatched it like a week or two before the second one came out because I'm like, I'll go rewatch it. It just never happened. I honestly like. I think Dune, the first Dune, is so well made, but I'm not like the biggest fan of it. being
Oh, okay.
honest.
Yeah.
But like I shouldn't say that. I think like the whole like siege of like the Atreides compound on Arrakis,
Mm-hmm.
that whole sequence is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think the ending where they're like going out into the desert just is so long.
Oh yeah, it's like a long. If longtime fans of the show will remember how I've defended The Green Knight, the slowest, fucking most boring movie of all time. I loved it. I loved how slow it was, and the first Dune was very like slow and like they don't tell you shit. It's just like here it is, and you got to figure it
Well,
out.
I'm fine with that,
Hmm.
but I think I'm also have like the memory of being in the theater, having drank like a huge soda, sitting there with my legs crossed as they're like going across the desert at the end, being like, "Oh God, I gotta piss. Oh God, I gotta
Oh,
piss."
dude. So okay, so we go into the second one, and we see it in IMAX. IMAX already is like notoriously hot. Like you go in there and you're coming out
Oh,
sweating.
is it?
Yeah, at least in Tinseltown, the one that I go to, it's fucking hot
Mm.
in there. So we go, and it's packed. It's like completely filled, and I'm sweating the second we walk in. Sit down, I start chugging my drink, and then I'm like, oh man, I better do this now. And like I got up and went to the bathroom before it started, but just to get out of what a terrible what a terrible feeling it is when you have to like, oh sorry, excuse me, sorry, and you got to like
Are
walk
you sure
past
you?
everybody.
Yeah.
Horrible
I
feeling.
I have a question though. Are you sure you weren't at the 4DX screening for Dune if it was that hot?
The one they shoot sand at you. You're leaving, you're
Was it you
pouring
who's
sand out of your shoe.
was it you that said you did one of those, or was it somebody else?
Yeah, I saw Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
Um,
that's right. Yeah, I
I
do
s-
remember that now.
I've seen Fast and the Furious in there. I've seen Top Gun Maverick, which was dope as hell.
That's probably pretty
And
cool.
on Cinema Day last year or Theater Day when all the tickets were like half
Five
off or
bucks
something.
or
Yeah,
yeah.
5 or something. We went and saw Gran Turismo,
Mm.
and that was a lot of fun. That movie was
Yeah.
surprisingly good.
Want to know something that's crazy?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I've never seen a movie in IMAX.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Well,
Gents-
like growing up, I'd always go to like the small little like local run theaters and whatnot.
Mhm.
Because I go in Geneseo and Geneseo.
Oh, you know Geneseo and in Geneseo.
And that, well, that's where I also saw, that's like where I saw Avatar with like 3D glasses and whatnot. But I don't think I've seen like a true IMAX movie unless it's like the IMAX 3D, maybe.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's one out that way. I never go out that way, so I'm not sure.
Well, the funny thing is, like, now as an adult, I didn't realize this, but Tinseltown was like 15, 20 minutes from my house growing up.
No way.
Yeah,
It
I
was
was
right
like,
there.
it was right there, and we just go to Geneseo. I think it's just because Geneseo wasn't as packed, and it, like you didn't have to like deal with all the traffic and everything that's right there.
Hmm.
But I was like, like it dawned on me. I was like, what? How is it that close to where I live? But
That
that's what I.
theater is like it's like my home theater. That's like I go if I'm going to the movies. That's normally where I'm going.
That's that's where I've seen a lot of the more recent stuff is at Tinseltown.
Hmm.
Because it's also close to where I work, so if I get out of work, I'll just bebop over there.
Oh hell yeah. Oh man. If I lived
One of
closer, I would probably work at the theater if I could. That would be my my ultimate dream. Is I work at the theater, I get paid like $100 an hour. You know.
yeah, yeah, it's nice when it's close, which is why like, because I work close to those kinds of places, and if I can hop over there, it makes sense with my schedule, so like I'll try and do it.
Hmm.
Because
Hell yeah.
one day I I did a double feature of Iron Claw and Poor Thing.
Oh my god.
I was there for 4 hours in a row.
I okay.
Just
I'll get back to Iron Claw and Poor Things in a second.
Iron
My
Claw coming to HBO Max,
Are you serious? When?
middle of May, May 14th.
Holy fuck. What a fucking movie, dude.
My favorite movie of the year last year.
We saw it on Christmas, I think. And I was like talking to my girlfriend. I was like, "Do you want to go see this movie? It's like about wrestling." And she's like, like I'm like, "Come on, it's gonna be good." I try to go to the movies on Christmas like every year. So we go, and it's us and I think like 2 or 4 other people. Like there's nobody.
Oh,
there.
I was the only one there. I was there opening night. Only one.
Holy shit. Dude, fucking crushed me. I was not expecting it to be what it was. Like
It's brutal.
I didn't know. Like I knew Ric Flair when they were talking about him. I was like, okay, there's my touchstone to the Von Erichs. I don't know much about them, but man, oh god, it killed me. At the end, I was like, this. I thought this was gonna be like fun. Like I'm fucking sobbing. I'm like, I can't believe this shit.
I won't reveal the title on air, but what we're doing with the show now is we're doing seasons and we're doing like movies based around a theme. And one of the themes is I'll either tell you later or relate off air is about wrestling. That was one of the movies I want to cover in it.
Oh,
I want to cover a bunch of like wrestling movies. But you're gonna love I'm not gonna reveal it yet, but you're gonna love the title of what we're gonna call that series.
That season. Oh, I wanted to tell you how I went to movies. I saw 3 movies in one day.
I haven't done that. I almost did that the day I went to go see Poor Things in Iron Claw. Part of me was trying to go see Godzilla -1 before those two.
I know. Oh my god, another fucking great movie.
Dude, still haven't seen it.
That was like my favorite Godzilla movie I think I've ever seen. It's so another one.
I've heard it's phenomenal, and I'm just like,
it's crazy good. Okay,
well,
so
they haven't released it anywhere. I was gonna like snap it up when it came to Blu-ray or like rent it when it came to digital, and it's just nowhere. Like I might just have to get a VPN and like set it to
Japan.
Amazon Japan. 'Cause I think it's streaming on Prime Japan or whatever, where you can watch it.
Whenever it comes out, I'm gonna pick it up because that was a great movie.
I heard it's fantastic.
So let me tell you the 3 movies I saw in a day, and I wanted to fucking shoot myself. I get there at like 11 or like noon.
Is one of these Killers of the Flower Moon?
No, but I did see that, and that movie was awesome too.
That was great.
John Wick 4. So that's like
It's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it's long as fuck. 3 hours. Then I saw Beau is Afraid.
That one I've seen. That one's also 3 hours
which was
long.
right after. And I was like, that movie pissed me off so bad. Because, like, it's hit or miss with A24 for me. Like, sometimes they're really good and they have something to say. Or they're super long and, like, this could have been a tweet. Like, this didn't need to be a movie.
Well, are you a Ari Aster guy or no?
What was this other one? Hereditary?
Hereditary and Midsummer.
I like those two. But this one I just did not like. Like, it took way too fucking long. It didn't do anything. I'm sure there was some kind of secret meaning that I didn't get. You know what I mean? I just didn't enjoy it. And then I saw The Evil Dead.
Oh, the newest one?
Yeah, Evil Dead. Was it Rise?
I think it was Rise, yeah.
And by I'm watching it and I'm just so desensitized and I'm so like there's a bunch of people in there and I'm just like eating my popcorn and just be like, I can't wait to fucking leave. But I had like 70 points or something on my movie pass. And I was I'm just gonna burn through these. Like I'm just burning through them today because I had the time. So I just spent all day at the movie theater.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it is if you can if you got it, use it. Because I keep losing points with Movie Pass.
Yeah,
I got a day coming up. I'm gonna try to fit a couple in. So.
Oh, nice.
Don't know what I'll see yet. Don't know what'll be out then. Maybe Dune 2. We'll see.
You can see Dune 2.
But
can see whatever you want.
I was thinking Challengers.
Oh, dude, I want to see Challengers
Challengers.
too.
Yeah, that looks good. Civil War, I want to see. I don't know if I'll make it to theater to see that one though.
I feel the same. Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of movies, we're excited to see. Here's my question that I was going to ask you before we got on mic that I completely just was like, we'll save it.
Okay.
Did you watch the newest Deadpool and Wolverine trailer?
Yeah.
Did you see the comparison online where Logan is fighting Deadpool and it's the exact same choreography from the first Spider-Man movie with Flash and Peter Parker?
No.
Look, if you look it up, I could send it to you after we're done, or if you wanted to look it up now.
Yeah.
It's literally like move for move, like he's swinging and he's ducking and like all that kind of stuff. It's shot for shot the same exact fight scene.
What?
But it's Wolverine and Deadpool.
Speaking of Spider-Man, I saw that first Spider-Man.
Oh, you bastard!
The very first one, the Sam Raimi one, at Tinseltown.
Dude.
What a time.
Started.
What is it? Fight.
Just do Deadpool and Wolverine Spider-Man 1 fight.
Spider-Man.
Or something.
I'm the Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Fight. Okay, we're typing it in. X-Men. Who did it better? Oh, is this like a short or something?
It might be, but it's literally from the trailer. The two guys are fighting, and it's like they're both like it's blocked the same way, it's shot the same way, the action's all the same.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see if I can do. I'm gonna see if I go to. Here we go. Let's see if you probably won't be able to hear it. Okay, he's dodging. Oh, it's the fucking same. Holy shit, that's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly the same. They just remade it. But did you see that Sam Raimi's like at the screenings in Los Angeles or something like that? Like he's going to see the movies in theaters with everybody else.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Tell you what though, I'm pretty sure I've only seen the Spider-Man movies.
Didn't see Oh, Drag Me to Hell. That's one of my favorites.
Nope, haven't seen that one. What else did he do?
He did Spider-Man. He did Drag Me to Hell. He did.
I was gonna watch The Quick and the Dead, and then I watched something else.
Army to Darkness, Evil Dead.
Yeah, the first Evil Dead.
Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, I saw that one. I did see that one.
He's got Boy Kills World. I keep seeing the trailer for that everywhere. Wait, what? Did he really? The Possession, The Grudge, and Don't Breathe? No, wait. These are just... There's no way he did all these.
Yeah, he did. I'm pulling it up too over here.
Yeah, there's no way he did all these. Maybe he was like a producer on Darkman.
Yeah, he went 9 years between Oz the Great and Powerful and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, shit.
For the Love of the Game, A Simple Plan, The Gift, Quick and the Dead, Darkman, Army of Darkness, Spider-Man movies. Yeah.
The Darkman.
You really can tell we haven't potted in a while because we're just like rambling on about every and anything.
Dude, it's whoa.
Like we were gonna to pull the curtain back a little bit. We're gonna do 2 back-to-back episode recordings, and I'm kind of glad we aren't because if we did, it would be this on the first one, and then the next one it would be just right into it, and it'd be so jarring.
The second one would be like 10 minutes long because we got all this out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yeah. I guess we'll get to it when we get to the end, but I do have a question about what do you want to do regarding like instead of the wheel thing that we used to do. Or we make a new wheel and it only has one movie on it.
Yeah, we'll yeah, we can figure that out. Yeah. So, anyways, we are doing a new method of your favorite streaming service podcast. We're reinventing ourselves a little bit. We're doing series based on ideas or themes or that kind of thing. And our first theme, I came up with, which I think is pretty funny, is what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? So it's about the whole theme is based around any movie of like a ragtag group of people that are like thrown together by somebody to complete a task, and that is our first series back. I think there's between 12 and 15 movies, something like that.
Mm-hmm. It was a pretty sizable list.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it. I tried to get creative with what we're throwing on here and hope there's some interesting ones, for sure. One segment I'm gonna introduce for this theme, though, we can't really do it today because it's kind of self-explanatory. But this will happen when we do other ones that are not literally the Suicide Squad. We will do. Come on. Trying to pull up the graphic on my phone so I can surprise Ricky.
Pull up the graphic on your phone.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
So it will be Justice League the Ettinger cut.
Why?
And we have to justify why this would be considered a Suicide Squad. Obviously, we can't do it this week, but for future episodes, that's what we will do, is we will figure out who the members of the Suicide Squad are, as well as who the Amanda Waller is.
So we're okay. So we just have to, throughout the movie, pick the people that correspond.
We have to decide whether or not I was correct in assuming they were a Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
We just have to justify who the members of the squad are.
Okay, that'll work perfect for the next one. For the next movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. The next one it's to kind of keep us honest with our strange movie choices for this topic. I don't know if we can throw to it or not, but we're gonna enter our first category with Suicide Squad 2016, which would be we're gonna enter the Matrix.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. It's back. I got it.
Cool. So we've got 2016's The Suicide Squad, directed and written by David Ayer, edited by Warner Brothers Studios. Starring Will Smith, Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, Joel Kinnaman, Viola Davis, Jai Courtney, Jay Hernandez. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to even attempt it. We're going to move on from the cast list because it's a really big cast. It has a runtime of 123 minutes, a budget of $175 million. And Ricky, do you recall what the box office of this movie was when it came out? It's quite immense.
It's a lot.
It's more than you like.
What was the budget again? 300 million.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you, this was the summer of Batman v Superman and Civil War, and we're in the height of all the superhero.
Okay, so superheroes
stuff.
are big. I'm gonna say it was 800 million.
You're pretty close. It's $749.2 million worldwide.
It's pretty close. Insane. It's insane because this movie is not that great.
Well, see, this is going to be the interesting part.
Yeah,
I actually enjoy this movie quite a bit.
Okay.
Like, not that it's not flawed, but I think it just came out at the wrong point in time. Mm-hmm. Like, if we had this like a decade earlier, like people would love it and be like falling out of their seats.
It would have. People's heads would have exploded.
And my thing is, I also am just a big fan of DC stuff. So anything going on DC is like, I'm like there for the most part, anyways, except Joss Whedon's Justice League. But,
dude, okay, so the budget was 300 million. Does it say? Does it say how much went toward the fucking music?
Oh my god, I forgot how much freaking music it was in here and how much they were just trying to do their own Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten all about that until the movie started. I was like, oh shit, that's what this is.
There's like 3 fucking songs right in the beginning of the movie. Like 3 different
Yeah,
songs.
it's insane.
Mhm.
Uh, like, just it's like boom, 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 boom. Like, what was? I had something in my notes that I wrote down about that. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I turned it on and I was like, I completely forgot about the music too. I remembered that there
Yeah,
was like a 21 Pilots song that was like really big, and
yeah, that's one was yeah,
it was all over the radio. And then it starts with whatever song, and then they show Harley Quinn, and it's that fucking "You Don't Own Me" song, and that was all over the radio too, which I had completely forgotten about. Like erased, it was erased from my brain,
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh my
There's
god, dude, they don't
yeah,
stop with the music."
there's so much I'd forgotten, and like yeah, they use like the most like I wrote down what was it that I wrote down? Um, is paint by numbers as the needle drops are they still work for me? Like I was like okay, I'm in. I'm just when it comes to stuff like this, I get like super critical about like things that I need to be critical about. I
Hmm.
feel like where this movie I'm like, let's just go for a ride. Like this will be fun.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Do you want to go into the fucking good right now?
Yeah, let's go to the good.
Okay.
I definitely I think I have do I have more good than bad? I also just have a huge paragraph at one point in my notes.
just, just a huge paragraph. Nothing weird about that.
It's yeah, it's like that.
All right,
um
we have entered the good.
the good. That was my so that was my first comment was this paint by numbers as the needle drops are they still work for me.
Hmm.
Um Another thing that I don't think it worked for probably anybody, but I really like the motion graphics in this movie where it's introducing the characters.
Yeah,
Like I'm like I'm there for that.
those are cool because they're all kind of like all the fonts and stuff are different for them,
Yeah.
and they do
Yeah.
like the drawing over their faces. I remember that with the Killer Croc when they show him for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to Killer Crack when we get to the bad, but um I think probably the best performance in this movie is Viola Davis by far.
she,
You might disagree. I think there's one other person that gives a really good performance, but I think out of all of them, Viola Davis is the strongest and like I think there's a reason they keep bringing her back for that role, for sure.
yeah, she is super good. She's great. Um,
Yeah, there's one line I liked that kind of represents the what that character is in Harley Quinn. It's when Amanda Waller's walking to see Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn goes, "Are you the devil?"
mhm,
I thought that was a really great line.
that's cool. For me, my favorite, I think who does the best job is Will Smith. Like he's, I think he's believable. His like motivations are good. Like I think he does the best job given what he's got, and like some of his lines are cool too. When
I
he
definitely think he is.
when he shoots that gun the first time into the air, like I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Where he shoots the gun, and then
Oh,
he's
that
like looking at it, like holy shit, it's real bullets in this thing.
yeah, that whole gun range scene is great.
Hmm.
That's so super cool. Yeah, I had that in my notes too. And then I did like the like his costume too, his Deadshot.
Hmm.
Not that you see him using it a lot, but it was still cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
he's rarely like wearing that mask, which I guess I don't really you don't really need it once he's like you know who he is and he's out and about with the rest of the
yeah,
gang. Like he doesn't really need to be wearing that
yeah. That's
weird.
not you're not paying for him, Will Smith, to wear that mask.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Which there's a lot of really interesting stuff with that character. I think in this movie. Um, like I like there's a little detail at the end. I don't know if you noticed it. He's helping his daughter with geometry
Hmm.
and just how good he is at it. And you wouldn't think about it, but you're like, yeah, he would have to understand all this shit if he's gonna be like a hitman and like the most accurate shot in the world and all this
Mhm.
kind of stuff. It's just it's a funny detail that they brought to life that really, like, I think kind of deepens the character.
Yeah, it's
It
cool.
doesn't make him just two-dimensional.
Because I don't know if I said this while we were recording yet, but I just watched him. Like I literally just finished it before
Hmm.
I got on here, and yeah, he's talking about because she makes a reference like, oh, if you're on top of the building and you're shooting the guy at the ground, like you have to know blah blah blah, and he's like, yeah, but then you gotta account for like chamber pressure and like sometimes the curvature of the earth and like yeah, so he's just
Hmm.
going on and on listing stuff about geometry, which was really cool. You're right.
Yeah, and then all the other factors that come into it. Um, what other kind of stuff did you like?
So yeah, for me, definitely Will Smith. I think he's like the shining star of it. The scene, I really, really like that scene of him with his daughter, in the alleyway when he gets like,
I like that.
I guess I'm my throat. When he gets confronted by Batman. I think that's super cool. I like how it looks. Like it just looks
That's
cool.
the sequence is great, and one thing that they really nailed that I don't like the I think the DCU as a whole or DCEU as a
Mhm.
whole did a really great job of that. I don't think Marvel does nearly as well as like just kind of like the pop-ups where it's
Mhm.
like Batman's here for a scene. Like I'd completely forgotten like you see Flash catch Captain Boomerang and stuff like
Oh
that, and they do
yeah.
that over and over and over again.
Mhm.
Like how in Shazam there's the Superman scene, and I've always really liked that DC does that because it feels much more like interlaced. Where like Marvel, it's everything is big,
Yeah.
like on a bigger scale, and it doesn't feel as like super Frenchish, I guess is the best way I can think to put it. Where it's all like linked like that, and I just think that's really cool that you get to see that, even if there is a very strange post-credit scene with Bruce Wayne and Amanda Waller.
S- Super weird. My other favorite thing, or like another thing that I thought was really good about it, was like I really enjoyed all the Enchantress stuff. Like the way that she moves and the way that she looks, when she's like in the gross like mud,
Yeah,
and her eyes are shining like a deer. Um, I thought that was really cool. I really enjoy that.
I don't remember the eye shining like a deer part, but
It's like
that's
anytime they're like looking at her and you can't see any of her features. Like she's all blacked out, but her eyes are shiny like if you were to shine a light into like an animal's eye. You know how like they reflect back the light?
yeah, right, yeah,
It's
yeah.
doing that, which is really I think is really cool.
I forgot the character's name though. The other person's name is June Moon.
Dr. June
That's
Moon.
her. Yeah, I reread that when I was um looking up the movie, and I'm like, oh my god, that was her name. That's right. Um, one thing I will say too is I do like the one that kind of like smaller note of the movie is there is some CGI, but like the nice part about them being in that city is a lot of the stuff they're actually like in a city, so it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like it's green screen. It's like boots on the ground and all that kind of stuff, which I definitely think is cool.
This was like one of the first times everyone knows that GIF of fucking Brad Pitt. No, it's not Brad Pitt. Leonardo DiCaprio from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like snapping and pointing at the
Yeah.
screen. This was like one of the first times for me where I noticed they were filming in Toronto, and like
Oh, right.
so they're like driving down. They showing like the Batmobile like chasing after the Joker, and I was like, oh, this is Toronto. This is Toronto. I know exactly where this is. I was like, so that would be my other good.
Yeah. 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 I'm trying to think because I had some other stuff that I liked about it, but my notes are very like non-specific.
Mm. Do you want to move
I
into?
just
Oh, you got one more. Or you want to move into the bad?
I was just gonna close up the good by saying I think this is a fun movie, but it's also very like of its time movie because like I was writing down like other stuff that happened at this time that's fun, but it's not really significant in the same way that like it was at the time, but now it's kind of forgotten. Is there's like stuff like I had written down there's other movies like Jurassic World and stuff like that that's like IP based, that's not doing anything monumental, but it's still a fun experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like where I see this in, is like, and I don't know why I've never like I've why I enjoyed this movie so much, if I'm being honest, because there's not a lot of stuff that makes sense, and we'll get into that in the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things I have for the bad is something you actually had in the good, which is funny. Um, being the one that likes the movie more, but I just I think this is a product of its time, and I think it is underappreciated because, like I was saying earlier, it's came out at the time where it's Captain America: Civil War had come out that May.
Mm-hmm.
Batman v Superman had just come out to mixed reviews, so it's getting dumped on because of that. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's some other stuff too. What else came? There's another big one in 2016. I don't remember. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was the other one that year.
Oh shit, the first one?
That came out. Yep, that came out in the November of 2016, I believe. And because of like Marvel's reaching the high of highs, since DC isn't like is trying to like punch above their weight, that it hurt them even more, because that's when we were in the height of the superhero stuff. Is we were about to lead into Infinity War and Endgame and everything, and DC's trying to get off to a start.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the factor of, too, depending on how much you want to believe, that the studio really meddled with this movie too, which hurt it.
Yeah, I think for my, I agree that when this came out, I like enjoyed it too. I remember being super excited to like see the Joker, and like because you heard all the stuff about him when he was making the movie, and like I did enjoy it then. I think now watching it, I don't enjoy it. I still enjoy it, but not as much as I did. And there's other things that are like so glaringly bad to me, or like,
Right.
you know what I mean? There's
the
just
other
things that I'm like, I don't like how this is, but it's still an enjoyable movie. It's just goofy and weird.
The other part that's hard on the movie too is if you're viewing it in a vacuum, like where we're going back now and rewatching it.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the time I forgot how much it was like this, like how they had, what was it, Blitzkrieg Bop in the trailer, and they're like, this is gonna be the new Guardians of the Galaxy, but for the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
And how we truly eventually got that with the next one. But I think there's just a lot of bad circumstances that gives this movie a much worse rap than it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's a lot of DC movies that kind of people don't like as much.
It's like an easy target to dunk on the DC movies, because they had a couple that were like bad, and then it was just like, oh, they're always going to be bad, so let's go into it with the idea that it's bad, and then say it's bad.
Yeah, it really just, this became the easy target, especially like you're saying you were interested in Jared Leto's Joker. That became an easy target for this too, where it's like, oh, he's sending this to his co-stars and that to his co-stars, and look at all his tattoos, and it says damaged on his forehead, and like it was like everything was an easy target for this movie, which just sucks. Because like being in there at the time, it was like I was so ready for DC to take off and like do the same things Marvel was doing. Because that's like, growing up, I watched the Justice League cartoon, Batman the Animated Series, and all this different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shit. Like, as much as I enjoy it, it's like, as much much money as it made, it was just like, this isn't gonna, it isn't like a unified vision as much as Marvel was. It doesn't have like the guiding hand the same way it does, and everything.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to the bad, which we kind of already like touched on a little bit.
Last thing, Joker Swap Fest says Joker on it. I don't know if you caught that at the end.
Yeah,
he's got the mask on. It says Joker.
The last time when I just watched it, that was the first time I noticed that. Yeah, that it just says Joker across the front. You're like, what the fuck?
And he's got a mask on, so you're like not supposed to know it. But I completely forgot that's the way it ended, where he breaks her out of jail.
Yeah,
because like in the technical timeline, we never see Joker again. Like in the direct timeline of the DCEU.
Oh
It's only
yeah.
when you spin off into the Snyderverse that you actually ever get back to him.
Yeah, yeah, they're all over the place.
It's just there's so many hanging threads and different things.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. What was what can you do like one bad from you and then one bad from me?
Okay. Um. So I, my one thing that I think this movie it does get hurt by is the tone is kind of all over the place because there's certain moments that are like fun and stuff like that that wind up just end up feeling cheesy and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's they could have if they would have let the film breathe a little bit more and given it some not tried to make it into something else so much, it wouldn't have taken away from the actual like film itself. Because I think that's where there's like the tones all over the place where it's supposed to be dark and gritty like the Snyder stuff, and then there's supposed to be like fun quippy stuff like other kinds of things, and it doesn't know what it wants to be, which I think is part of what hurts it, but it doesn't yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There are parts where you're like the tone is very dark and grim and like oh, it's like grounded in reality and like these are real people with real feelings, and then it's like goofy, like it's
Yeah,
too
because isn't there
much.
Captain Boomerang with like the freaking unicorn or horse or whatever that he's got in his coat?
Yeah, or yeah, they're
And
like
like,
shooting at those. The first time they see like the monster things, they're like shooting at him, and he's like cracking open a drink to like slink away.
right, like there's all this like stuff that feels very like 80s action movie ish. Like
Mm,
that should have been the tone they were going for, not like dark and gritty.
yeah.
We're coming off of Casino Royale and the Dark Knight trilogy and all this kind of stuff,
Mm.
and like and all the Snyder stuff before it and whatnot.
This movie didn't like change hands, did it? Like it wasn't being directed by one person, then it got switched to somebody else, or like writing wise.
They're not that way, but I guess the studio's the one that made the final cut of the film, not uh David Ayer. I guess they're supposed to be more like Joker stuff, or they're supposed to be more of something else.
Oh, okay. So same thing that happened with what's his name, Snyder.
Yeah, yeah. That's why there's that. Sometimes you'll see like people be like release the Ayer cut and all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, that stuff is super interesting to me. Like I would love to
Hmm.
see, I like just give the people your vision of it.
Yeah,
Because at this point, what does it matter? How old is this movie?
it is 8 years old.
That's
Which is
crazy.
fucking bonkers.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, just put out the other version. Like, who gives a shit? Just put it on HBO or whatever.
right. That's the thing is like they have Max, they have all this kind of stuff, and they could do it
Mm.
because I guess not to like go too far down the rabbit hole, but I think one of the things that doesn't work with this movie is like they're talking about the Suicide Squad initiative, but they never have a clear target of who they're fighting.
Hmm.
It's just they're building the team, building the team, building the team. All of a sudden, Enchantress like becomes this ultimate bad and takes over the city, and it's like, where did this come from? Like, it should have been they were building the team from the start to get the Joker
Yeah.
or something like that. Like Enchantress, I think as much fun as I have with this movie, Enchantress is shouldn't really be there. And on top of that, the sequel like completely nullifies her existence. Like they never acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Rick Flag doesn't say anything. He just goes to Quarter Maltese and gets stabbed with like a piece of porcelain and dies. And it's like we never. Again, it's just another thread that like is left hanging in the wind, and maybe that's just the looking backwards, being like they missed this,
Hmm.
and this, and like they could have gone other ways that would have been more fruitful for the future. But that might also just be the fact that they're spreading themselves so thin to try and catch up to Marvel that they're like, we need to like do everything we can, and everything needs to be connected, and we need to throw a million characters in here and all this kind of stuff. Where it's like when you think about the core team, there's if you want to consider Amanda Waller, there's um Deadshot, Harley Quinn. There's Captain Boomerang. There's the Flame guy, whatever his name is.
Oh, El
I don't remember.
Diablo.
El Diablo, that's his name. Yep. And there's like
How could you
there's
forget
like
El
all
Diablo?
there's all these characters, and then there's like these little side characters that are there for a scene that doesn't make any sense. Like there's Katana, there's
Yeah.
um
Was it Slipknot?
Slipknot. Yep, that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, where he shows up to get like blown, just to get his brain blown up.
Yeah, just
like,
a
what
vehicle to
what?
die.
Yeah, there's like tons of side characters like that, and then there's like the Scott Eastwood in the movie too. He's like this little side character, and like there's this huge ensemble in a movie that doesn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of kind of the drawbacks of the movie is they had the villain with the Joker. They didn't have to have him be a side character like that. Enchantress, they didn't have to use Enchantress in this movie.
You're so right. Like, it's the whole first part of the movie is like they're building the team, they're explaining the team, they're explaining what they can do with them, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, good thing that we assembled this crew because Enchantress is a bad guy, and it happened so fucking quick. I totally agree that there's way too many people, and I think my bad would be Killer Croc. I think he's useless. Number one, he's only there so he can swim swim underground.
Yeah, I think that was one of my notes too. Is just I literally wrote, "Why is Killer Croc here? So goofy and over the top. I'm beautiful."
Oh my god, dude! I get it was supposed to be funny, and I'm sure in the theater when it happened, it killed. But when I watched it this time, I was like,
I don't think it killed. I don't think it killed.
I was like, this is so fucking weird, and I'm pretty sure they won a
They won
an Oscar, right, for makeup.
I think so.
I know that I almost said they won a Grammy. They won a Grammy for him. Something about him.
It was. I don't know if it was him for the makeup and stuff, or if it was like Enchantress and Harley Quinn and like the other people too. But yeah, it's just there's so many characters in this movie. Like there's also like the shitty security guard that like ends up being Joker's like henchman goon guy.
Oh, I love him. That's Ike Barinholtz, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's only in there for a couple of scenes, but he's funny, and like there's a lot of people that are like the comedic relief or like are trying to be funny.
There's so much comedic relief in a movie that's supposed to be ultra serious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the tonal issue.
Yeah.
Because even like there's Harley Quinn who's like, what are we, some kind of suicide? Or no, Will Smith says that. What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
And then there's like Harley Quinn says something else like funny or quippy at that point too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and then they're watching her get dressed, and it's like, what is happening here? Like, what are we doing?
Wasn't there? I remember. I forgotten until I was watching the movie, but wasn't there some kind of like controversy with like them CGIing her clothes? Do you remember that?
I mean, I've heard about that with recent movies. I don't remember that with this one.
I remember there being something about them like making the length of her shorts either longer or shorter, and I couldn't remember what it was, and I didn't look it up because I'm asking. I'm asking about it.
I mean, that's very. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked. But that was again. Weird. That's the weird thing too. Is it's like Harley Quinn's only there to be connected with the Joker and be over sexualized.
Yeah,
and that's her purpose in this movie. And granted, thank God it was like Margot Robbie who was there, who actually knows what she's doing and can like spin something out of that, and has created like brought the character to life in multiple movies and really like improved upon what she's done in this one. So it's not like there's. That's the thing is some of the people don't know how to like expand their role into something more, I guess. Is there's a lot of people there for just one scene and then we never see again. Or like even they never. I don't know. I'm just ranting.
You're
We're
right. Though.
Recording at 11:30 at night, and I'm just like, what's happening again?
No, it's been a day.
But,
you're right. Though she like because there's times where she has an accent, and there's times when she like doesn't, and there's times where she's like being like really weird. So it feels like you can almost tell how it was like shot, because like she's super weird in like in some scenes, and then other one she's a little more like toned down. So I feel
Right, like there's the
she's
scene
like
where she's
going
drinking
with
the tea and espresso and everything, and like
yeah,
being super over the top and weird, and
all this stuff in
it's
that weird
definitely
cage or the, it's
yeah,
strange.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
my other thing would be yeah. Oh, there's another thing with her too that I didn't. That was like, what the fuck? Why did they do this? When they are getting dressed and they're like showing all their stuff, she's holding like this big ass hammer, and she's like, "Oh, it looks like a bunch of people are gonna die or something like that." But then you never see her with that hammer. You see her with the bat. So it's like, what?
I don't remember I vaguely remember the hammer. Yeah,
Yeah, it's when
that's
they're
weird.
all
It's
getting
only
like they're all getting dressed and like they're gearing up for whatever. But really, my biggest issue that's like I don't know, not really an issue. It's just Killer Croc. I think he looks weird. His head is super big, and then his shoulders are like our normal guy shoulders.
yeah.
So it just looks like he has a big ass head. He has nothing to do in the movie.
Yeah, he's like all wrinkly and stuff like that. He's not like built at
yeah.
all
If he
by any
was like
means.
when they do the shark and the Suicide Squad, his body is like beefy and wide like an anthropomorphic shark would be.
Right, yeah, they went too realistic with it.
Yeah, he was super realistic. That was like to a fault, I feel. And then my other problem is I don't like anything that the Joker's in. The Joker is like, again, I'm sure when the
Do you
movie
want to hear
came
how
out,
I
killed.
describe the Joker?
Yeah. Oh yeah, great.
So, what I wrote down is Jared Leto's Joker is all over the place, being Heath Ledger, Jack Torrance, Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, and Jim Carrey's Riddler.
He's everywhere.
He's just yeah.
You don't know, like I don't know what they were telling him to do, if anything, or if they were like, oh my god, this is gonna fucking kill. This is so good.
Yeah,
But it's just so weird how it switches back and forth. And then I I forgot how like just cringy, I guess is the word, of him like laughing with the hand in front of his face. And you
yeah.
can see, and when I'm watching it, I was like, oh, I forgot that was a thing, and that like people got that tattooed on their hands.
Oh, I'm sure people actually did that.
And oh man, it was just he's everywhere, and I don't like him in it. I love Jared Leto, but I don't like his portrayal of the Joker.
Yeah, that he's just all over the place. Like I feel like he could have played a really good Joker with the right kind of direction. But I'm sure with Heath Ledger, it's just kind of like he's getting invested in that role, and he's gonna do whatever he thinks is right, and not really, and just kind of go for it, for better or for worse.
Yeah,
It's just
in his defense, it did seem like he was all in on it. Like every scene, he was doing the same sort of shit, like unhinged, being all over the place. You don't really know, like, is he being serious? Is he trying to be funny? Is he trying to be sad? There's that one scene where he's laying on the ground with all the knives around him.
right, yeah.
And it's almost like he's sad when he lays down, but then he starts laughing. So you're like, what the fuck is he? What's going on? Also in that scene, I never noticed all the knives around him, and then up in the top corner, there's like baby clothes. And I thought that was super weird because like there's never a mention of anything like that other than in her like vision, Harley Quinn's vision.
Right.
She's got the two kids. So I kind of wondered.
I tell you what though, that vision, I'm just realizing now, straight out from Age of Ultron.
Oh really? Is it the same thing?
They do that. Pretty much the same thing. Because do you remember when it's when Wanda was, they're in the Hydra Fortress and she's doing like the thing on him, and Captain America seeing himself with Peggy and all this different kind of stuff. I forget the other ones. Oh, there's the ballerina room with
Black Widow.
Black Widow and
yeah. I vaguely remember. I haven't watched that movie in forever, but I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, so it's like it's hard at this time when there's all these like again, not to be like, because obviously we've said this movie has problems, but again, that's another thing where it's like this is so close to something else that has already been done
Mm-hmm.
or done recently, and it's just like
Just a tough
crazy.
time for it to come out. Just a tough time.
Yeah. So I have how much were you in the hype cycle of this movie when it came out? Because this leads into my next kind of quandary, or my next the bad, I should say.
Oh, that looks bad. I can't remember. 2016.
Were you deep in the hype train, like watching like trailer breakdown videos and like all that kind of stuff?
Probably. I'm gonna say yeah. It wasn't until like probably a couple years ago when I stopped watching the trailers multiple times. Like I would just watch it once, and then because I felt like they were starting to like reveal too much in the
Mm-hmm.
trailer, so I try to only watch them like once, and then I move on, and I'll just go see the movie. But I think this
Yeah.
was kind of still when it was like a new piece of information was coming out, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta see what it is."
Just what I'd completely forgotten until I rewatched this movie is, so you know how Scott Eastwood's in the movie, the guy with like the beard that's like Rick Flag's buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, but I didn't remember until I was rewatching it that rumor was before the movie came out that he was playing Dick Grayson.
Oh,
Like he's playing Dick Grayson. It is because at the time there's a story going on in the comics called Agent of Spiral where he'd like faked his death and like joined like this secret operative organization thing, and that was the rumor at the time was that was going to be Dick Grayson and he was going to be like undercover or something like that.
Oh, that's insane. No, I didn't know anything about that. Also, you know what I didn't? All the other times I watched it, it never clicked in my head that David Harbour was in it too.
Yeah, I forgot about him in this. I was like, holy shit, what
Yeah.
is he just doing here?
He was just there. He was only there for like 2 scenes. And we're like, oh shit,
Mhm.
David Harbour, how cool is that?
Yeah, yeah. Another weird thing with this trying to be an iteration of Guardians of the Galaxy is they use Spirit in the Sky, which is literally in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
They also use that one. I think it's along the Watchtower that they used. It's in like every fucking war movie. I hate that song.
That's in that. They use I forget which Rolling Stones song it is, but they use one that's always used. I think it's Sympathy for the Devil
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
Let's take a.
This movie is just
There's so much music, dude.
there's so much music in this movie, and it's trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Which, if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, hey, more Guardians of the Galaxy-esque stuff. I'm like, cool. That's in the DC universe? Cool. I just... Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fucking. Why was Eminem in that? That's when they're getting dressed. Is where they're playing Eminem.
What Eminem song are they playing there? I don't remember. what song they're
Without
playing there.
Me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, that's
man,
right.
it's so fucking weird.
Now, do you remember at the time too that the big complaint with this movie is it was another movie where there's a big glowing beam in the sky as the bad guy? Is that what the climax was?
I don't remember that. What was
That
the
was-
other one?
There's other ones like it. There's I think Ghostbusters 2016 does it, where there's a giant like thing in the sky. Obviously Avengers. There's that.
Mm-hmm.
There was more at the time that like that was the big thing. Is there's be like this giant thing that take over the city and be this huge energy beam coming from the sky, with all these like faceless enemies that they'd have to go fight.
So
Like I think,
funny.
and that was like one of the big complaints too. Is like
when
it's funny thinking.
I was trying to think when did that Power Rangers movie come out? Was that another?
I want to say was that 2017, 2016, somewhere in there. But yeah, that's like that was the thing at this time with like these types of movies. It was like this, just the way they were built.
Built different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the thing with this movie is it is built different. This is not like your typical superhero like director either.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if you've seen some of his other movies, but they're like he did Fury and he did tax collector, and he just did beekeeper, and like
Beekeeper was
so.
dope. I liked Beekeeper.
I've heard it's good. I again haven't checked it out.
If if Suicide Squad was like a product of like the superhero era, like Beekeeper is a product of the John Wick era. You know, single guy, like one guy goes and takes on, 1,500 dudes, and he somehow comes out
Yeah,
the other end.
yeah. This is definitely like David Ayer trying to make a studio movie, and and to fit into that mold at the time, and it just feels rushed because like even I don't know if you felt this in the final battle or not, but it felt like the final battle was like missing stuff. Like I don't know if you felt that at all,
Like it was cut
but
out.
it felt like there was like stuff cut out, like things that they had to do in between or different things like that, and it got like it felt like it was almost rushed.
Okay, yeah. It's 1 second they're the Diablo guys shooting them back with the fire,
Mm.
and then he gets blown up, and then they fight Enchantress for like 5 seconds, and then she's like, "Join me," and then Harley Quinn's like, "Okay, yeah, I want to join you," and then she slices him with the sword, and then yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah, it definitely the climax feels anticlimactic.
You want to go? Also, the bad news is I did not prep anything for the ugly. I did not go on Letterboxd.
The good news is
Did you?
I have a couple.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, we'll keep it up.
I don't know how good any of these are, but I'm gonna see which that also I didn't put these in any order. I just kind of
Okay, cool. I never put them in any order. Remember the one for Flubber was just Flubber. It was just I picked 3 fucking reviews on Letterboxd, and they were all Flubber.
I have I think 5 reviews here.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll read them all.
Yeah, read them.
So this is a 5-star review from Nicole Rudnick from Letterboxd. Nothing could make me hate you.
Thanks for writing into the show, Nicole.
So a 2-star rating from Lucas Dixo. Margot Robbie and Viola Davis should be entitled to a free chiropractor session after having to carry this movie on their backs.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Well, swap out. Oh, no, add Will Smith too.
1-star, Ellie Garcia. The most 2016 movie ever made.
That's pretty accurate.
And then our last one from NATO Love 777, a 2.5-star review. And he goes, "How the fuck is Jared Leto and everything?" And that has been The Ugly.
Wow, that was beautiful.
No, I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you think? Do you think the lineage of this movie would be different if we got Will Smith instead of Bloodsport in the Suicide Squad? Like, how do you think that would have made a difference in like how this movie's looked at? Or do you think or do you think it doesn't matter because they go and kill everybody from this movie anyways?
Oh.
Because you gotta imagine that's supposed to be Deadshot.
Yeah,
Except
that's a good question.
Him and his kid hate each other.
Yeah. Oh man, they have like the similar, almost the same power set of like they can shoot really well.
Which they even make fun of like Bloodsport and not be having like a unique power set because even Peacemaker has a similar kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and Peacemaker is basically the same guy. That's interesting. I think it would be
because I think if they could have done something
at the end, right? I can't remember. They're
of
all
which
dead?
one? Pretty much
The James
everyone
Gunn.
from the original one. Pretty much everyone from the original Suicide Squad dies in the opening scene, and then Rick Flag dies at the end.
Yeah.
And the only one left living is, I think, Harley Quinn from the original cast of them. Because you see Captain Boomerang get shredded by the freaking helicopter blade.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then who else is? I'm trying to remember who else.
Shredded.
Yeah. It really makes me curious if that would have had any kind of impact on the legacy of this movie, as if they truly made a sequel to it with Will Smith returning, but now they have the Deadshot proxy in his place,
Mm-hmm.
which is he's almost an anti-Deadshot.
That's a really interesting question. I don't know if... I think it would have made a difference, but if they would have killed him in the beginning, then it wouldn't have.
I don't think they would have. I think if they were paying to have Will Smith, they wouldn't have killed him in the beginning,
Yeah.
though, is the thing. I think he literally would have taken the spot of Bloodsport.
Yeah.
It just would have been... But then again, that's a completely different movie if Deadshot's there and it's not Bloodsport who like has to learn how to be this leader, and like there's an actual character growth there where it's like here there's not as much of one, so it's almost like does that movie save this movie a little bit?
Yeah, because in this one, the one we just watched, they kind of like naturally gravitate toward him being the leader. Like,
yeah, there's no depth to any of the like decision making or like how the team acts, because literally Bloodsport and the Suicide Squad doesn't want anything to do with it. He's hates everybody. He just wants to be left alone. All this kind of stuff. And but he's very human in the fact that he has that fear of rats and like how they're tied all together. Which again, it's an unfair comparison to make where James Gunn has all this carte blanche to do whatever he wants to do, and just kind of do all that kind of stuff where it was also made in a different environment with this 2016 Suicide Squad, where it's under the pressure of the superhero bubble and trying to fit everything into it and conform to all these different things.
right. Yeah, because when the new one came out, but that was after Endgame?
I was it 21, I think?
So people were kind of like not burnt out, but they were starting to get burnt out by...
Yeah, we were reaching kind of the
apex of it.
Yeah.
All right on.
We were running on fumes at that point, I think.
How did we end this show? I forgot. What did we just said that was it?
What we initially were doing the rankings and stuff like that.
Oh,
which
the
I figured
rankings, that's right.
I didn't bring any of that stuff with me, so...
I have that's not it. I have the hit list assets still, but I don't have the list. The list was tough because it was so all over the place.
Yeah. It's really, it was nuts and a crazy harebrained idea that I'm just like, if we leave that behind, that's not the end of the world.
We can come up with something else.
Yeah, so... Well, we'd also spin the wheel. That would be the other bit at the end of the show, which now we are doing it seasonally, and I don't know if it'll be at the end of each episode. We'll announce the next one, or if we'll do a list of everything coming or whatnot. But our next movie will be for, what is this, some kind of Suicide Squad? It will be Moneyball.
Moneyball with the America's sweetheart Jonah Hill.
It's crazy, like, just how all over the place Jonah Hill was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was everywhere. Because, like, it's pretty close succession, I think, between this movie or Moneyball and then Wolf of Wall Street, and Superbad was before those. And yeah, just...
What a king.
Now he's off making movies and stuff.
Oh, he's directing movies now?
He directed, I don't know if you saw the skateboarding one, mid-90s.
Oh, yeah, mid-90s, duh.
Yeah, he directed that one. Then he directed a documentary about his therapist, I think.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's him and his therapist in a documentary on Netflix, I think. We'll
have to come up with, like, some sort of ending bit.
Yeah, I guess we're shaking off the rust. We're figuring it out.
Yep. Getting back
I'm
into
sure this
back
episode
into
was
it.
a little rocky, but we'll
Listen,
get it.
real fans of the show, OG fans of the show, they know what they're coming into. And it's going to be long, it's going to be rambling, it's going to be whatever the hell it wants to be.
Word vomit.
Yeah, we've been doing this now for when did we meet? 2018,
2018. Was it 2018? Yeah. 2018.
Yeah. This
It's
is
weird.
Yeah, the third iteration of our show.
Yeah. Third iteration of the show. Crazy. And it still has the same name though as the second iteration, which is nice.
At least that's nice, yeah.
So similar concept.
All right, yeah. It was great talking to you. It was great to talk about the films.
We'll come back and maybe be less rambly next time. Probably not.
Next time I can take some more. I can actually take notes. Yeah, well, who cares?
I think I gotta take less notes though. I'm like over here looking at them, like being like, I can't find it.
You got too many, yeah. All right, hell yeah.
So yeah, we will see you next time. We don't really have a sign off thing.
Yeah, we don't really have.
It would always be me being like, going through like the social stuff and then being like, until next time, and then like blanking and just making you figure. Throw you off the deep end.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't really use. I don't have anything to plug because I don't really use my Instagram. Oh, I was making a lot of TikToks though. For a little bit, I was making like Magic the Gathering TikToks, and I got like quite a few followers from doing this. And then one day I didn't do it, and then I never did it again. And now TikTok's about to be banned.
Yeah.
So RIP TikTok. You can find me there. You can watch all my old videos that I used to make. For now.
Well, you can also subscribe to us on YouTube because you'll see lots of different YouTube shorts there of different breakouts of old episodes that we've done. I've gone through and done the first 4, I think, have a bunch of different breakout clips that you can go enjoy. Part of which are on Now Available Pod on Instagram, which I'm hoping to update, but I'm really terrible at.
That's the thing, yeah. You set it
did I
down one
tell
time,
you-
you forget.
Did I tell you one of our shorts has like 10,000 views on it?
Holy shit! What? Which one?
It's that one where I'm like, is that a lightsaber? It's like the stupidest little 15-second clip.
Oh my god! I gotta find that lightsaber. I still have it. It's somewhere here. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Dude, that's what's up though. Yeah.
But we're back.
We're back.
Back at it again.
Yep, back in the saddle again.
Yep. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, brother. All right, yeah, let's go to bed. Let's get out of here.
Sounds good.
All right.
Until next time, this has been Now Available. Like, subscribe, share wherever you get your podcast. I'm sure we're there. If we're not, we probably won't ever be there.
Go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. You're in the wrong spot.
All right.
I've been Adam. He's been Ricky.
It's me.
We've been your favorite streaming service podcast. Until next time. Oh, we never mentioned we watched this on Max. Never brought up the fact that this is available on Max right now.
The whole fucking crux of the show is we watch a movie on a different streaming service each week, and we're not going to tell you what this streaming service is.
You're not gonna. That's the post-credit sequence of the podcast. You find out where you could fucking see the thing. Jeez.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So Moneyball is currently on Netflix. So go to Netflix, watch Moneyball there. Maybe we could finally wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah, Moneyball.
Ricky, say something. Ricky, say something.
You don't own me.